Good afternoon, everybody, and we are back again with our next wonderful guest and a repeat from our first summit. So we're excited to have Miss Carrie back. I am Heather, your Scrapbooking Fun Summit co-host, and Tracy's below our other co-host. And we've introduced ourselves enough in the last couple of hours.
Yeah, everybody knows who we are, right?
Yeah, we know who we are. If you're on live, say hi in the comments. If you're on Facebook, say hi. If you're on Facebook, we don't know your name. So if you want to drop your name too, say hello, let us know if you have any questions about anything. We're going to have a fantastic discussion with Miss Carrie. We keep going all over the place with our discussions, so that's lots of fun too. So Miss Carrie, where are you in the world?
I am in northeast Colorado. So we're on like the dry plains, but I'm about 45 minutes away from the mountains. I'm like I can get to Wyoming, Nebraska. My daughter's in southern Colorado. I can get to there in about 2 hours. So we're kind of in a good location.
Beautiful. And what is the weather in northeast Colorado right now?
So last week we got below freezing. We had a huge snowstorm. And today it's t-shirt and short weather.
That's living in North America, or at least in the northern part of North America. We just never quite know what we're going to get.
Yeah.
So actually, I just know our temperature is going up. We've been cold, but we're actually getting warmer. So who knows what we're going to get as well. Excellent. Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us again. Because we have a lot of new people, we have a lot of new attendees and stuff. We're going to ask similar questions we did last time to start off with. Are you a card maker or a scrapbooker?
I am both. I am whatever supplies I have, I will make something.
Do you do crafts outside of making and scrapbooking too?
Yes. So I do a lot of home decor projects. I decorate I have a decorating box for every month. So I redo my house every month. And so I love making home decor pieces. Cross stitch is a huge thing. Everybody in my family gets a homemade stocking for Christmas. And we added a new son this year. Our daughter got married. So I'm working on his stocking. And then I also crochet. So.
Well, hopefully he's not watching now, right?
Oh, he knows he's getting one. He's been waiting.
It's kind of obvious. I sadly say I have a box downstairs of all my cross stitch stuff that I haven't done in decades. I wouldn't even say years. I'm going to have to say decades for cross stitch. Yeah. It's been a long time since I've done cross stitch. But I still have it all. I have it all nicely filed away and done.
Yeah.
What started you in scrapbooking and card making?
Let's see. I'm trying to think how old our oldest one is. Probably about 25, 26 years ago. We had 4 kids. I had 4 kids in 5 years, and I just needed to get out of the house. I love my kids, but if you've had children, you need a break sometimes. And a friend invited me over and said, we're going to make some pages. And I thought, I'll give it a shot. And really fell in love with it. And then about 5 years in, my father-in-law died tragically, and I couldn't scrapbook anymore. Like for 15 years, I took a break because I just couldn't. And then I kind of started getting back into like paper crafting and card making, and thought, I have all these supplies. Why don't I try to scrapbook again? And so it was not only a healing process, being able to look at those photos again, but it was just kind of nice to be able to kind of catch up and look back at the kids and re-record those memories and things. So it's kind of where I go.
Very cool. We hear a lot of different stories. Someone was to get over morning sickness is how they started earlier, and then there's some with different approaches, different reasons to get into it, which is understandable. Yeah. How did you move? I'm curious. How did you move from doing it to having it as a quote unquote job or role that you're doing?
Let's see. I'm trying to think how that worked out. I started with, I had like a small business that I was working with, an MLM, and was kind of doing card making classes. And then somebody asked me to please make a scrapbook page for them. And I thought, well, I haven't done this in a while, but we'll give it a shot. And And like I said, I started falling in love with it. I'm not a salesperson. So the MLM just was not, I was trying my best, but it wasn't going. And ended up where I left that, and some companies approached me and said they liked my work. And so I started joining their design teams, and most of them were scrapbook based. So then that got more into making more scrapbook pages.
So do you work for, because I don't know this part, this is me not knowing, do you work for more than one company at a time in the design team, or do you tend to work to just one company?
I currently have, I think I just joined my 6th design team this last month. So they just vary all over the place. So I enjoy it.
I was going to say that must keep you busy.
It does, but I'm very organized. I have like an app I use that keeps track of all the projects when they're due, who likes what kind of photo, who likes what kind of project. I keep track of everything in an app. So
yeah, which is, you have to do that.
yeah.
Hello, we've got people from Germany. We have hello again, and pinky waving. I think that might be an emoji, or you never know how this stuff gets translated onto these things.
Yeah.
So we have somebody, Suzette's been with us most of the today, which we really appreciate. Josie and others, and some people in Facebook. You could drop and say hi. How long have you been using a Cricut?
Ooh.
Almost 15 years. That's actually kind of what got me sucked into starting again too, was my neighbor invited me over to like a home decor party she was doing, and she had the Cricut, but it was the one that still used the cartridges. And I'm very technologically minded. I mean, that's just my happy place. And I thought, wow, there is a lot you can do with this. And then like I had it for about 6 months, and I noticed I was getting a lot of questions from people. Like, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do you do this? And I currently, at that time, Cricut had asked me to do the beta version of Design Space. And so I was trying it out, and I thought, there are going to be people who need to know how to do this, because not everybody enjoys technology. And so I started teaching classes at rec centers and the library and all kinds of stuff, and got moving on it. So love it.
It's very popular.
Not all of us like it.
No.
Tracy does not have a Cricut machine.
Yeah. When people ask me if they should buy a Cricut, I tell them that the Design Space app is free. And so I always tell them, go download that app first, log in and play around with it a little bit. And then if you can handle the app, then go get the machine.
Really sound advice.
Good. That's a smart thing to say, because there
are people that don't like technology.
Yep.
Technology doesn't like them. I haven't figured out which one Tracy is, but where they might have a block in their head that won't let them go past that. But Tracy's improving a lot on technology. Getting a lot better at it. That's why we make
sometimes it is a mental thing. Yeah.
To me, I guess because for me, it's work.
Oh,
and it's like, no, some other times, like, no, I don't want to work. So
I got Tracy to edit her own video. So Tracy edited her own video.
Good for you.
I'm not going to say okay, because I can hear people. Well, she messed that part up. Yes, I did.
No, but she edited you know what? If you look at my first videos, they are horrible. But you improve with each one. So
yeah.
But I'm proud of that, because that took a lot of, and she did it without a lot of direction, which is even better. So technology is becoming more perfect.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Look, I'm reading the comments. It looks like a couple of other people are not friends with technology either.
I love technology, but when it doesn't work and when it mixes up, it can be very frustrating. Like you experiencing right now yourself.
Yeah. Well, and I think what helps is I taught for many years. So I think I'm able to take like my teaching experience with the technology and kind of mush them, simplify it a little bit.
I'm an engineer by my first career in that. So technology and me, but I don't like I like to use it. I don't like to make it. which is a bit different, but I can figure most stuff out. So that's what
Yeah.
makes a difference. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about the project that you're sharing today in your presentation.
Well, my presentation, I did that scrapbook page. Make sure I got light. It was basically just teaching you how you could build a scrapbook page in Cricut Design Space from start to finish. And with the way I use just basic shapes and stuff, I thought, this is something if someone has a silhouette or if they have some other type of cutting machine, because it was basic shapes, you could put it together. My thought process behind it was there are many Facebook groups that you can share your completed scrapbook page with people. So you just send them the Cricut link and they can open it up. And as long as there's not an SVG in there, you can send it to people. But my thought was that, if people want to start getting into that where they're sharing their scrapbook pages with friends, this just kind of walked you through that start to finish process. So.
Okay.
Which makes sense. So you can share your designs or your, but you can't share an SVG file, or you can share an SVG file.
Right. Cricut doesn't, and I'm not sure. So I haven't used Silhouette, but because Cricut doesn't know if the SVG file you are sharing is a licensed image or if it's a free for, anyone can use, they do not allow you to share the SVG. Now you could share the entire page, but the SVG portion might not show up. What I've always done is I just take off the SVG from my design, and then I just tell people in the comments, this is where the SVG came from. So they can still open it in Cricut Design Space, and then they can go get the SVG themselves.
Smart.
There. I'm just
do it.
kind of learning.
Yeah.
Yes. If anybody has any questions on the Cricuts and Design Space and that, Miss Carrie is definitely one to help you with that. So if you're in here and you have any questions, let us know.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm going to cough. Tracy, your turn.
All right. So we're gonna let Heather choke away here. Now I gotta ask a next question. Oh God.
Okay.
So I love the color that you're wearing. Okay. You also, if you don't mind, and I'm not gonna choke because of Heather. No, you were also you had your project, and sorry, I'm not ready to speak here. Miss Carrie also did the project for Creative Fabrica. So again, everybody, if anybody wants to ask a question, I think on either one of them, she's here to answer, right?
Yeah.
So, and if you have that one handy, you're allowed to.
I do.
Show it as well.
So that one, I mean, on Creative Fabrica, there are some free SVGs, but there are a lot you have to pay for. And because I'm a very frugal person, I like to try to find multiple ways that I could use that SVG that I bought. And so the premise behind that was just showing you that, even though it was a summer wreath file, you could use it for a lot of different holidays, and you could use it for a lot of different, projects. And like I said, I'm frugal. And so I'm like, oh, I just paid $4 for that one SVG. How much can I get out of it? And so that's kind of the premise behind that. And then I did make sure too that sometimes I think in the scrapbooking world, foreign languages are sometimes left out because I think so many people out there are, English speakers. And so I also wanted to make sure that I threw in a project that was Feliz Navidad that had like the Spanish, Christmas also.
Yes,
so
that makes sense.
I threw that in. But yeah, Creative Fabrica does have because I was looking it up and I was like, they had a lot of holiday SVGs and like Christmas in other languages, or if it wasn't in the language, it had it in like there was a font. So it was kind of nice too. So
okay, well that's actually interesting. Yeah, I would have never thought about other language and they already had the words put together as opposed to getting this alpha in this font or whatnot. So that's interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Well, and almost all the fonts that are out there do have the special characters for other languages, other than like Russian or Chinese that has the other, the more graphic characters. But a lot of people don't know how character map works. So they don't know how to, find the N with the little swish and, those types of things. And so I think it's nice if, when things are pre-created, so people can just snag it and use it.
Yes. Well, that is good to know. Not that I'm a Cricut user, but I send clients there because yes, it definitely makes sense. So
Yeah. So
For
it
people
looks
who are-
like,
Yeah, there's
oh,
a
go ahead.
question. Yeah, no, it's
Yeah, I was
gonna.
like
There's
turning them.
from Dana about the VIP. I'm difficulty registering for the course. I get a message that says the site cannot provide a secure connection. Dana, let us know which site that is. You can always reach out to
Probably
Tracy
mine.
and just respond to. Is it your site? Because I'm via.
Yeah, remember I told you yesterday it's been
for the
going up
course.
and down.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Oh.
yep. So yeah.
Go ahead, Miss Carrie. You're having difficulty.
Yeah, so both my store site that you get the free SVG from and the site that has the course on it use Cloudflare, and Cloudflare has been down for 2 to 3 days. So the sites they'll work and then they won't work and then they work and then they don't work. And I know Heather said she sent out an email to VIPs yesterday that just said, I am having issues with the site. I will send out a mass email and I'll let people know here in the group once everything's nice and stable, and I'll give you an email to contact me so we can make sure that you guys don't miss stuff, because it's frustrating for me too. And I apologize.
And we can send out another, like a newsletter stating when you're ready and saying, yes, okay. So you might get bombarded then. We'll say, take your time, everybody. But yeah.
No, I just want to make sure that the VIPs get the things that they were meant to get.
Yeah, no.
Okay, good to know.
We're not going to hold, we're not going to make anybody else like suffer for this, because
we will let you know when it's ready.
Hasn't been
one way or the other, we will let you know. Because I don't, we can send an email out whenever you're ready to say that it's working again.
Yes.
When it's really working again, because that's the challenge with this, because it works for a little bit and then it doesn't. So, like I said, we've had other problems with codes and things, and countries are different, and even time zones are different right now for at least a week.
Yeah.
And then they change.
Maybe take back that statement of loving technology.
But we couldn't be here without technology, and we couldn't be broadcasting without it. So that's where that comes into that. Yeah. We forget all the things that it lets us do, and then we get frustrated when we can't do the things that are there. So it lets us do that. So so many people have asked this question of others, so I'm going to take a question that our audience has been asking people is, because you're doing this as your business, what do you do for pleasure?
That you could talk about here? Sorry.
I can, but sometimes I think it's like, well, I don't want to offend people, but it is who I am. So, and I'm going to tell you, people are often surprised by this, but I really enjoy days out on the archery range and shooting range. That's something that our family does. And that is kind of just gets me out of my craft room, gets me out of the house. And it's something that uses the other side of my brain, if So, but people are often surprised by that. They are like, oh, do you do this? No. So
it's good to get out and do something different, right? And that's been, I don't know which audience member has been asking that for a couple of people, of what do you do when you're, if your business is what for us is a hobby, then how do you get away from your business and still do something that's thing? So, and then are you good? Can you hit the bullseye?
Yeah.
First time,
stay on her good side, Heather.
My son purchased me a bow, and he got it custom made with these colors that I liked. And he took me out, and he sighted it for me and everything. He goes, now, Mom, it's going to take you a minute to figure it out. And I said, okay. And he stood right by me, and he's like really big. And he stood right by me. He goes, okay, do this. And I literally just went right where I wanted it to go. So he was like, oh. I was like, yep.
Do you compete, or you just do it for pleasure?
No, just for fun.
Should you compete?
No. I'm too competitive.
You're not always perfect, or like not per,
No, the issue is I'm too competitive, so I try not to do contests. Yeah. I was that mom that would play games with her children and say, I win.
Just telling them you're teaching them a good lesson in life. They get to win, you get win sometimes. So that's good.
Yeah.
I have a question about something you said earlier. You said you have a box to decorate your house for every season, every month. Sorry, not every season, every month. Two questions with it. Are some of your decorations made with your Cricut machine? Is that something that you use for that? And then which is your favorite month to do?
Let me see if I can, like, there's a wreath. I'm going to try to, so like this is a Cricut made wreath, or not wreath, banner.
Yes.
A lot are made with the Cricut. I also enjoy, my husband does wood crafts. So he makes a lot of stuff for me. So
what is November? I guess November's Thanksgiving.
Yes. So, and I kind of have some stuff that transitions. So like in September, I put out like apples and a couple pumpkins, and then the pumpkins stay, and I bring in, we really don't do a whole lot of Halloween here. So I just bring in kind of more pumpkin-y stuff. And then the pumpkins stay for November, but I switch out some of the more, I mean, they're not spooky. They're just cute little things. But then I bring in the grateful and, stuff like that. So, but yeah, I have like, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I was going to say,
I have like a wall in my kitchen that I change signs to. So,
is there a difficult month? I think there must be one month or so that doesn't have a good theme, but I guess you have a theme.
August.
August is, I have like, I'm running through. July is 4th of July. August. Oh, I have like more, like harvest type things. So, because around here, August is harvest time. So, I think May is always my hardest one. Because like March, April, you can do like Eastery stuff, and kind of springy. May here, we're kind of leaving spring and going into summer, and it's kind of a weird. May for me is a weird month.
Should just be because it's Mother's Day. You go, yeah, do this for Mom, do this for me, do that for me. That's what you should do.
Should be May. May could be Mother's Month for you.
Yeah.
Mother's Month.
There you go.
There you go.
Mayflowers, Mother's Day. There, yeah. Susan said the same
That's
thing.
A good idea. Yeah.
And Mother's Day is pretty late, so you got lots of time in the month to do it. So
yeah.
We were designing for you. There you go. You get designers together, people together, and crafters, and they'll say, do that. But such a great thing to do. Do you switch it up, or do you have the same stuff and you just reuse it? Do you add new stuff to your decoration?
Well, my home is more of like red, white, and blue, kind of everywhere. So like like Christmas decorations are blue in this house, because that goes with everything I've got. And some things, like I've got little red, white, and blue houses and some old different things throughout my house. And those things like stay. And then I just add little bits and pieces to those. Christmas time, we go all out. Everything comes off the bookshelves.
Wow.
So, yeah.
We want a picture.
Yes. Before and after. It's just for fun,
It's funny because here, well, in Canada, because we don't have our Thanksgiving is gone. It's in October. It's the great debate of when do you start decorating your house for Christmas. So people will start. Most people won't. Some people have started already. They've got their houses in decorating. Some people wait until Remembrance Day, which is our, like your Memorial Day. Ours is Remembrance Day on the 11th. So many people, that's kind of hard and fast rule. And then after the 11th, they'll start decorating.
All of a sudden, it's boom, it's everywhere. It's like, whoa.
Others like me, it's more December. So I do it more in December. But yeah, it's interesting because we don't have that extra holiday in there. So they're like full out Christmas can come on pretty soon.
Yeah.
I actually saw someone post pictures yesterday that they already started decorating. I'm like, oh, too early, way too early.
Yeah, my daughter and I had that debate every year when she lived at home because, I mean, literally November 1st, she wanted to put out all the Christmas stuff. And I was like, just let me get closer to Thanksgiving.
So those who are listening live, when do you start decorating for Christmas? That would be an interesting, see what they do. See what they create and they do. What's your favorite type of card to make?
I think masculine cards. Because we have 3 boys and my husband, and I think, which would be 4 boys, but on the market when you're looking on Pinterest and you're looking on Instagram and everything, masculine cards aren't super popular.
Mhm.
You know, little boy cards are great, but you know, masculine, like older boys, there's not a whole lot. And I think I really enjoy making those just to inspire people that, you know, here's something you can come up with for the guys in your life. So
It's true though. There isn't a lot of cards even from buying them. There's not a
mhm.
lot of cards out there. I'm decorating for Christmas starting this weekend. So there you go.
Yeah.
You see.
There
Remember
you go.
December? Debbie's hubby won't let her. So there you
Yeah.
go. Debbie, when does your hubby let you decorate?
Or do you
Like,
even
you know,
obey him, Debbie? Right? Come on.
we just sneak out the little things here and there.
I always find it naked when you take it down. So your idea of decorating something else afterwards is kind of nice
Yeah.
because then you're not kind of missing all the nice decorations and that kind of thing. So excellent.
Yeah.
Anybody in the comments have any questions for Miss Carrie? We have a quiet audience now.
Yeah.
Questions about Cricuts, about her stuff, let us know. We will.
Yeah.
Tracy and I are always curious. So we can, how does your daughter's wedding go? There you go. There's my question. Because last time you were getting ready for your daughter's wedding.
Well,
Okay.
the ceremony was beautiful. My husband performed the ceremony, and it went really wonderful. She was gorgeous. I mean, Tracy, you know about her health problems that we were concerned about.
Yes.
And it happened, but my
Okay.
daughter recently started having seizures about a year ago, and we were concerned about the stress, but we had backup plans. So that was fine. Like I said, ceremony was wonderful, reception was wonderful. The venue was very frustrating. And I'm not going to go into great detail, but
Mhm.
just not what we were promised. And that was kind of a stressor for our daughter, but I am so thankful she has an aunt that is a saint who got her through. Her friends got her through, you know, my son, you know, got her through, because my son and his wife decorated, because that's kind of their gift. So, you know, like I said, ceremony was gorgeous, reception was great. So it went well.
And they're happily married.
They're all excited. One of their wedding gifts was a house. So that's like a huge blessing for any brand new married couple.
I was going to say, for anybody gets a house is a nice gift.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, his family are ranchers. And so they have a lot of land, and there's a house on there that they said they could have. So that's a huge blessing for everyone. But
Yeah.
A wonderful start
Yeah.
for marriage and life, period, to have a house and to have that.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
yeah.
That's
Mhm.
wonderful.
Wow.
But it was-
Sorry.
yeah. I know. Yeah. I mean, it's like an 1800s farmhouse, you know, so you know, but I'm like, that's
It's
wonderful, you know? Yeah.
Yes.
It's actually kind of
So,
cool to be living in an 1800 tower.
Mm.
I'm sure
Yeah.
it's been updated since then, I hope.
Yeah, here and there, but yeah.
Got running water and flush toilets and things like that.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah.
Oh,
That's lovely.
Yeah. So they're all excited and figuring out how life's going to work, and you know, how you live with another person, you know. I mean,
mhm. Yep.
like they have a lot of stuff too.
Does your daughter craft as well, or does she?
You know, she can, but it's not her happy place. So, you know, like we were making a lot of stuff for her wedding, and so she came over here the month before, and we were building like some different signs and things, and she loves to help. I have a bunch of pictures of her helping with the Cricut and everything. But like I said, you could tell she gets frustrated easy, and she's like, okay, I'm out. So, but she does very well. So
Excellent.
Good.
Well, we do not have a lot of questions coming from our audience today.
I know, I was trying to read. Oh, Susan said, congratulations. Thank you, Susan. I was trying to read those real fast.
And we decorate for Yule pretty much same as Christmas at the end of November, but our decorations kind of transition from autumn decor to wintry, and we add the tree. That's a good idea.
Nice.
Just seems like a lot of work. A lot of work.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I'm lucky, the beginning of December, if I can get your husband to help, yeah, Debbie, that makes sense too.
Help with the lights. Yeah, my husband puts a lot of lights on our house, so our boys come over and help him every year. So.
Oh, sorry. I got Chevy Chase in my mind, so not that bad, right? Oh yes, she says. Okay.
He's called an electrician because he wants to put in another breaker just for Christmas lights.
Well, if you don't mind, at Christmas, take a picture and put it on, or
Oh,
just send it to me for fun. It's just good to
yeah.
see.
What's because of the time of day, we don't have any Aussies on here yet, but I lived in
Yeah.
Australia for 2 years, and my first Christmas there, it was like they don't put lights because it doesn't get dark. It's their lightest time of the year. Plus, it's hot. It's hot.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've sweated to death on it. But their lights are kind of like, well, they don't need lights because they're not trying to brighten up the night in the same way that we are. So when one of my Aussie friends moved to Canada, they're like, I get it. I get why you guys put lights on the houses and brighten things up because it's a dull time of year and we really want that energy in that. So I feel Miss Carrie a ton of questions at previous summits. See, you're too popular.
You can still ask me questions, Susan.
Yeah, we'll learn. Because that's the thing. I don't know enough of the questions to be asking you. I mean, I'm trying to think here.
What questions do you get asked about a Cricut machine, Tracy?
Yeah,
she says none because they know she's techophobic.
Yeah.
We got one.
Well, no, I get more and more about the joy, should I get it kind of thing. Not me, but for, clients and that. And I'm just trying to think what else is popular of a question. Like you said, Heather, they probably just know not to ask me anymore.
We're getting questions now, so there you go.
Oh, are we getting questions? Okay.
Yeah, Miss Carrie, what's your favorite tools besides the Cricut machine?
That's a hard one. Because even though I have a Cricut, I use a die cutting machine because I love stitched dies. And you can't really get that stitched, impressed stitched look with the Cricut. I'm not one who buys a lot of tools because I'm kind of I don't like things to be single task. I like multitask things. So I guess it would be like my die cutting machine. I can't even think of like what else. I'm looking around going, I really don't have a lot of like tools other than that.
But that's good because it's multi-purpose, which makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Susan asks, how are the cross stitch patterns coming along? For sale yet?
So yeah, I had talked about, I don't remember what summit it was, that I wanted to start making my own cross stitch patterns. So it's on my I have like a 2004 list of things that I'm going to start making. So it is on my 2004 list along with some stitching SVGs. Both of those are on there, but I'll get there.
My brain kind of went, would it be hard to make a cross stitch pattern? Probably. Or is there tools that do that these days? I don't know.
There are some apps that will make like the grid design for you.
Right.
Like you have the grid and then you can fill it in. I think for me, it's juggling the time because I always like to test everything that I do. So it's like figuring out, okay, how much, I can make the pattern, but I better test it so that, there's not a ton of errors. And so.
What type of cross stitch patterns would you make?
I was actually thinking because of the card and scrapbook things that I like to make. I think last Christmas I made some Christmas cards that had like a cross stitch as the front panel. And I think I would be more likely to do some things like that to start with. Just some things you could do on your cards or on your scrapbook pages. And then maybe branch out to some bigger pieces. But I think that's probably where I'm looking at starting. So
very cool.
Nice.
Very cool. That's the neat part. You get all these different ideas, and then you have too many ideas, and you can't get anything started sometimes. But.
I know. Yeah. And I think for me, I've been debating on hiring someone to assist me here and there. I don't know that I'm quite there yet, but it's all those little tasks. You guys know, there's like all these little tasks that go with a business that you're like, I'd rather be creating, but I have to get these done.
But in all honesty, putting on my business coaching hat, it's like, if you want to do that, you can hire somebody for only a few hours. You just have to really know what you want to do. Because some people go out and hire somebody like a VA and they don't really give them tasks to do. And then they don't do them well and they say it's a disaster. It's like, because you didn't actually know what you wanted them to do. So yeah, that's the first step to it, is actually identifying them. And then it gets a lot easier to say, this is what I want to hand off to you so you can do that. Then there's the trust sound that comes from that. So that's an idea. That trusting them. One thing I forgot to cover, want to cover definitely, is Miss Carrie's free gift, which is not working, but we will let you know what it is.
Yes. I did see a bunch of orders come through today, so I know that is working so far.
The free gift is working. Okay. So your free gift is a Snowflake Trio SVG. You want to explain that? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So my lights are weird today. The scrapbook page that I made has like these different snowflakes. Like here's a really big one. There's some tiny ones. So it's just these really detailed SVGs that are snowflakes, which you guys can use on just about anything. I mean, the snowflakes can be used on cards. They can be used on whatever. There is an SVG file in there. If you would like to just cut them out by hand, I also included a PNG and a JPEG file. So if you want to just open that up, print them out, and cut them out, you can also do that. So,
which is great. Thank you for that. Nice. And then in the VIP, she has a really cool program about digital, what did you call it? Photo editing class, which Tracy could use a photo editing class. There you go.
Yeah, because I think I was telling someone the other day, sometimes you scroll through Instagram and you're like, that is the most gorgeous card, but they've got a can of soda next to it and the TV's behind it. And so the class talks about how do you make kind of like what we call a flat lay, where you're kind of staging your card, or at least having it on a nice surface, or whatever scrapbook page, whatever project you make, and then how do you edit it so it looks really nice when you put it up there? And it doesn't take a lot of time, but I just don't think a lot of people think about it, and especially those who are designers who want to get into the business and want, companies to notice them, or, that kind of thing, just how to amp up what the project looks like. So.
And I mean, even editing your photos to go in your projects too. Like if you're scrapbooking and get a photo, I mean, nowadays we don't have to take a photo as is. We can actually edit it and cut out the background and add new things to it. And it's getting kind of scary what you can do to your photos now with AI and other things.
Yeah.
If you use the Canva to do anything, Canva is another popular tool. You can actually now go in with AI and say, could you draw a picture of a dog driving a tractor with a hat on his head? And it will do that. It will create a picture for you. They're not always very good, but the fact that they're stepping towards that is kind of scary.
Yeah. Yeah, I got on the other day because Canva has a thing where you can like change your background or whatever. And I thought, I'm going to play with this. And so I just took like a photo of me. And then I said, you color in the spot you want removed. And I said, please put a floral blouse on and a craft room background behind me. And it like totally put this gorgeous craft room. It put this floral blouse that I'm like, I got to find a place to buy that.
I haven't tried it to do that. That's amazing, right? That's kind of as a creator and a content creator, that's great for the online world to do that. But some of that's kind of scary. But yes, it does let you do a lot of cool things now.
Yeah.
So, someone said they can use SVGs for their silhouette, which is great.
Yes.
For people. Oh, I never tried that. Now somebody's techie's going to go off. Misfit Crafter's going to go off and try that on Canva now and see what happens.
Yeah.
Tracy hates Canva. I got her to do one thing.
Yeah, like, sorry.
No, not going to do that. Not going to. I love Canva. I could spend hours in Canva. And
Give me a picture and I'll cut it out and I'll do whatever you want to it, okay? I'll put a different top on you, whatever you like, okay? No.
So Misfit Crafter just said, my craft room is a disaster. Yes, that's exactly why you need Canva,
you need to go on
you
Canva
can put a whole new craft room.
Say, yes, that's what mine is. It is a great tool, although its last update changed a lot of things that used to be in different places. So it's like, I can't find what I want to do, but it's
Cricut Design Space did the same thing. They updated everything. And I'm like, oh, you're trying to find everything again.
See, and you're two techies. mean, it's like as soon as I get comfy with something and then they change it and I'm like, I don't know where anything is anymore. Like,
Yeah.
stop it.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's not needing to be techie. You just got to be a smart woman, and you're a smart woman, Tracy. So you can
Yeah.
figure these things out. It's the yeah. Did your own video. I'll get you there. I'll get you there. Shoot along a little bit. But thank you so much, Miss Carrie, for joining us, for being part of the summit again. People really wanted you back, so we're glad you came back and joined us.
Thank you.
Love what you're doing, and thank you, and congratulations on being a designer for Creative Fabrica.
Oh, thank you.
I always say the name wrong. Is it? So Tracy's always been
Yeah.
wondering, is it Fabrica or Fabrica?
Fabrica.
So when I first started, I was calling it Creative Fabrica because I speak some Spanish, so that I would be, the way it's laid out. And then I thought, well, I also have taught phonics for years. And if you do it with phonics, it's Creative Fabrica. So I had to watch a couple of videos on their site, and all of them say Creative Fabrica. So that would be.
I didn't even thought about watching the videos just to hear about, like, to focus on how they pronounce it.
Yeah, I have to do that with a couple of different companies. I have to watch their videos and hear how people say it. So
smart idea. There you go.
That
Now we
is
know.
smart, actually, and I can do that part of tech. Okay, I can do that.
She can watch. Well, thank you so much. And today, by the way, was sponsored by Catherine Pooler, and Catherine Pooler Inks was on earlier today. If that's something you're interested in, she's given a really generous 20% off as part of the VIP. It is only available until Sunday, the 5th, the end of the summit. It's only available to the end of the summit. But from what I gather, if you love those things, 20% discount. She says she never puts them on sale. So if you're going to spend more than the price of the bundle, it's worth buying the bundle, because then you get access to all the stuff like Miss Carrie's and everybody else's. So I encourage you to take a look at that. Thank you, Miss Carrie. Best wishes to your daughter and son-in-law. There you go.
Thank you, Susan.
And thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Exciting. And we will be back with one or two more, or one more. Just you, Tracy.
Just me. Oh. I'm tired of talking to me.
Tracy gets to be the crafter this time. And we have a lot of other great people this weekend. And just remember, the time changes. For anybody who's with us, we change overnight. So on Sunday, if you're in a different time zone, check out what time, because some places don't change, some places do change, but we change at 2:00 in the morning on Sunday morning. So all our times are associated with. So thank you, everybody who joined live. If you come on for the replay and you have any questions for Miss Carrie or for us, just put them in. We will cycle back and capture any questions you have on YouTube or Facebook. And we really appreciate you being here. So thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.